YouTube. I don't know if you guys remember me from the last video, but my name is Kid, or Justin, whichever one you want to call me, but Kid preferably here on this YouTube channel. Today, I'm going to be filming my office tour, showcasing some of the equipment and things that I collect, and just things that I'm into in general, from sim racing all the way to action figures, or to horror, like this Michael Myers mask that I painted. So without further ado, I'm just going to jump right into everything, and we're probably going to start with the back corner collectibles and work our way to my sim setup, which is nothing crazy, but it's doable, it's usable, and I will be upgrading it in the near future, hopefully. But for now, it is what it is. We're going to get right into this, guys. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. Let's do it. And then as we move forward, we get into the Marvel corner of my office, which is where things kind of start to get out of hand as far as the collectibles go. We have Funko Pops. Michael Myers is going to make a appearance here. We have walled art of Venom and Spider-Man, Green Goblin, the full-size Marvel Legends helmet, Doc Octopus. We have Green Goblin up in the back. Not too sure if you guys can see. Spider-Man statue that my fiance got me from Universal. We also have a Mysterio statue that my fiance got me from Universal. Shout out to her. We have the Green Goblin grenade. This thing is pretty cool. If you press it, it lights up and it fake explodes. Now as we get into the Marvel section further, I also have some TMNT stuff up top. We have Spider-Man rap battling Eminem. This is probably one of my favorite pieces of wall art. It's absolutely phenomenal. Kind of embodies everything that I am interested in outside of sim racing and content creation, hip-hop and Marvel. Two of my favorite things in the world, absolutely. So this was dope when this came out. I had to grab it. I had to put it in a frame and hang it on my wall for safekeeping. We're going to dive into some more collectibles, some Funko Pops, obviously more Marvel, and this is where TMNT starts to become a problem for me with my space. I do not have much space. Got the Darth Vader popcorn bucket from the Revenge of the Sith re-release. That's such a sick popcorn bucket. You got the big jumbo Mikey. You have Bebop and Rocksteady 2-pack. And then down below, I have an extra monitor. This monitor was a monitor that I used to use. It's a Samsung 27-inch monitor that I am going to be giving a new home to one of my close friends who's getting into sim racing. A lot of my, old equipment goes to him to use and upgrade his setup, and I gave it to him at a discount. So you got to look out for your friends. It's important. Something that's really important in life is to have friends that you can count on, and I like being a friend that people can count on. Moving forward, we have more TMNT action figures. This is a Dimension Christmas Vacation 4-pack that my fiance bought me. Shout out to her again. There's a lot of things in here that she has bought or helped me buy because she is a super supportive person, and I'm very grateful for her. Here we have the Eastman and Lard 4-pack. This is a super cool 4-pack. Maybe I'll do a video where I'm opening all these figures and showing them to everybody if anyone is interested in these. I know this channel is basically meant for sim racing, but however, I'd like to showcase my office at least once, and then periodically as I upgrade. And we have more wall art, Spider-Man wall art. And to capture the entire corner in all of its glory, the best that I can. Shout out to Art the Clown down there. I painted that painting. That's one of the better paintings I've ever painted. Moving forward into the tech side of things, I like to use this softbox light for most of my video lighting. It provides a lot of light. It's manually adjustable, so I can control the color temperature, the brightness. This thing is an extremely useful tool, underrated, and if you guys do not have a softbox light, I very highly recommend that you get one. This thing will change your video quality from to amazing really quickly, without much skill needed, other than just basic lighting knowledge, which you can learn from any YouTube video here on YouTube. Now moving forward into the tech side of things, we have my editing station, some more Funko Pops, some wall art. This is a Hisense 32-inch TV. I use this for UFC fights if I'm in here making content or working on schoolwork or work or just simply sim racing and having fun with my buddies. I will throw up UFC fights on this TV. I will use it for a fish tank, a campfire, pretty much whatever leisure activity that I want to use it for, I use this thing for. Now getting into the higher end of my setup, I have a Samsung Odyssey G9 49-inch ultra-wide curved monitor. Now, a lot of people in the sim community use this monitor, in particular for their sim rigs. And for me, my fiance helped me get this as a present 1 year for schoolwork, audio mixing and engineering, videography, editing, and that is exactly what I intend to use this monitor for, and only use this monitor for. It helps me a lot because being ultra wide, very ultra wide, as you can see me in the reflection there, I can use multiple panels on this monitor at one time. I can open up DAW or an editing software, and I have access to a lot of the features because of the space that this monitor provides me. I use it for OBS and YouTube when I'm streaming, so I can see what's going on in OBS. I can see the YouTube chat. This monitor is an instant upgrade, and if you were to ever purchase this monitor for anything, you would probably never need to buy another monitor at all ever again. Now moving forward is my keyboard and my mouse setup. I have a TechWare keyboard, mechanical keyboard. This thing is an absolute unit. I love it. All the keys on this keyboard light up. They're all customizable. You can customize every individual key color, as well as if you wanted to rearrange this keyboard, you could move the keys around individually and map the keyboard however you want it to. Moving over, we have a Bluetooth mouse and my adapter for my MacBook to transfer over all my video footage. This mouse is nothing too exciting. It's a simple Bluetooth mouse. The mouse, ironically, costs more than the keyboard, which is absurd, but that's the way that the world works now. Moving over, we have Michael Myers. Obviously, you guys know who Michael Myers is, I hope. This is the Halloween Kills Trick or Treat Studios mask. Another collectible. This mask in particular, I actually completely repainted and rehaired myself. A novice at this type of thing, but I like to jump into a lot of different hobbies and try my hand at pretty much anything that interests me. I also made this stand. The stand is oak base and a real kitchen knife that I dulled down for safety. It's still a kitchen knife, it's still sharp, but it's safer to be around in case it falls. It won't necessarily cut me too bad. Shouldn't cut me at all, to be honest with you. Now moving forward, we have the motherboard, so to speak, of this setup, and this is my MacBook Pro M1 chip. It's a little outdated, but it gets the job done. This powers all my editing softwares, OBS, YouTube streams, my stream in general. This MacBook, for being what it is and being a little outdated, it kind of does a lot. It's capable of a lot. It's a powerful little computer, which eventually probably I will upgrade to a PC that will allow me to have a little bit more functionality with streaming, and a lot more power for activities such as that. And aside from this computer, beside it, on either side, I have PreSonus Aris E5 studio monitors. As I mentioned before, I used to do audio mixing and engineering. I still do, not as much as I'd like to, and I use these monitors now for editing audio, They provide a clear and crisp audio sound that allows me to test feedback and mix audio so that I can kind of get an accurate representation of how it's going to sound in a video or any music file. And they allow me to enhance the audio levels in a way that makes it easy for me to tell whether it's going to clip or not, and whether I need to add filters or effects such as reverb, EQ, compressor, things like that. Now, moving forward is the audio portion of my setup, minus my water pitcher, and I use a Chaotica eyeball for my pop filter. This pop filter is an expensive pop filter, to say the least. It is a higher end pop filter. You don't necessarily need something like this in order to prevent the pss and this coming through your microphone. You can go buy a simple one, but this is one that I prefer. I like the look of it, the style of it, the build of it. Plus, again, my fiance bought it for me a couple of years ago for music production and engineering, and I know I've said that a lot. She has helped me a lot with a lot of things in this office, so I'm very grateful for her. And now moving forward, we have a Rode K2 XLR condenser microphone. This microphone, again, is a high-end, especially for streaming and things like that. It is extremely high-end for what this is being used for currently. I power this microphone, minus all my poor cable management, with a Rode K2 power supply that comes with the microphone. I also run the microphone through the power supply into a preamp, into an equalizer, and then into my Focus Scarlett-Rite 18i20 audio interface. This is an extremely complex setup for streaming. This is what I had access to immediately to use for streaming, so that is what I am using for streaming. Again, this type of equipment is not necessary at all whatsoever to stream, and you can do the same exact thing with a lot less. So do not think that a setup like this is something that is reasonable for most people. A lot of this equipment I purchased over years and years and years and years of working and saving and putting in overtime and investing. This entire setup and office has taken me almost a decade to put together, so it takes time, it's a grind, and none of this was built in a day, just like Rome. Moving forward, we're going to touch on this back wall, this wood slat wall I installed myself. The LEDs behind it burnt out, but we still use it. The barn light kind of adds a little bit of an accent to it. The barn light is what I use for my streams. I use this barn light in particularly to manipulate light and kind of have a really good level of control over where the light goes, as well as how bright the light is, what color temperature the light is. And this way I can manipulate things like if I want this specific corner to be lit up. Oh, there's Art to Clown and my camera stand, which I'll get into in a second. It allows me to manipulate the light, so if I want just the light on me on the stream, everything in the back will remain darker, so you guys can actually enjoy these LEDs that I put up in order to accent a little bit better on the stream. And it's definitely something I would recommend if you are looking for something that you can easily manipulate and control in order to get the most out of. If you have specific lighting preferences, this is the way to go in terms of controllability. Now moving forward, we have my signed Halloween poster by Nick Castle. As you guys can tell, I am an absolute horror junkie. Halloween is my favorite series ever. I grew up watching these films with my mother, and I still watch them to this day. Now, getting into more of the collectible side of things really quick, I have a lot of Halloween figures, as I just mentioned, and TMNT figures that I've been collecting over the years. These figures are displayed on the wall, just simply using thumbtacks and hang tags. I think that it allows me to have a little bit more space in my office for things like my sim setup. And my sim setup is pretty simple. I have a couple of different pairs of headphones. I have Turtle Beach wireless headphones that I use when I'm casually gaming, which now is not as often as streaming. And then when I am streaming, I use wireless HyperX's that allow me to connect through the Chat Pro Link cable and allow audio from my Discord and my party chats to go through to my stream. Now, this Dell 32-inch monitor, I bought this on a sale. It was an open box at Best Buy. I think this monitor retails for $300, and I think I bought it for $250 with tax and stuff like that not included. But this monitor is insanely good for what it is. It's very tall. It displays a wide field of view. So when sim racing, it's super immersive. And I usually sit right here, as you could tell, minus my poor cable management. I am moving soon, so I'm not too pressed on getting that managed up properly. I use a Logitech G29 steering wheel and pedal set. I have this shifter, but the shifter I don't necessarily use as much just because I am often running simulators and using the paddles to shift in game. Now I am going to stand here and cut this monitor on so you guys can see this monitor in all of its glory and kind of get an idea of what I'm looking at when I am streaming live on YouTube. And we're back, and the monitor is on. I'm currently running this monitor at 60 Hertz, as you can tell in the top left corner there. I usually run this monitor at 120 Hertz to get the most out of it. Currently it's set to 60 just because I was tweaking with some of the settings last night before I went to work. And later today when I stream, or later tomorrow when I stream, whenever this video goes live, it'll be set back to 120 Hertz. But I just wanted to turn this monitor on really quick to give you guys a good idea of what it looks like with the settings that I have it on. And yeah, this monitor is great. I upgraded. I was using the previously mentioned Hisense 32-inch TV as well as the Samsung Odyssey G9 for a little bit, but I decided to kind of dedicate a corner to the sim racing so that I can stream, and this is the monitor that I chose to go with. At the price point, I don't think you can beat this monitor. I think 32-inch monitors are the best for sim racing setups, whether you're running a single like this or a triple setup, which maybe in the near future I'll run a triple, but I don't have the space to justify that as of right now. Now, when I do stream, I usually activate this key light. The key light currently is unplugged, and this just allows for a little bit more extra light to come through. I usually run it dim and warm, so if you're ever in my streams, you will see that my color temperature runs warm. That is because of this current key light in the frame. This key light is awesome. It does everything that I need it to do. Very minimal does it do, but it makes a large difference in terms of camera quality. Now, bringing up cameras, we're getting into the last two things that I'm going to touch on in this video, and that is my Elgato Facecam Mark II. This Facecam is absolutely phenomenal. I was kind of skeptical on what webcam to buy for streaming. I watched tons of videos, probably almost 100 videos on webcams alone, and this is the webcam that I decided to go to and use for my streaming. And one of the big reasons I chose this specific webcam is because of the Camera Hub software that Elgato provides you to control the zoom, exposure levels. Everything about this webcam you can control through the Camera Hub with Elgato's software that they provide you, and that is the largest reason why I bought this camera. Now, the quality is great when you buy it out of the box and just set it up, but if you take the time to control the settings in the Camera Hub, it really brings this camera to life, and it really helps you bring your stream quality to another level. Now, getting into the final thing that I'm going to touch on in this video, which is another piece of equipment that's a little bit overkill for this specific hobby or endeavor. I want you guys to know that I mainly use what I'm about to show you for film and for schoolwork. I am in school currently for my bachelor's degree in cinematography, so this camera is a little bit overkill for content creation, especially at the level I'm at, entry level. It is the Sony FX6 camera. Well guys, that does it from my office and studio tour setup, my sim setup. all my collectibles. I think I've shown you guys a little bit of everything that I have in here. There's a couple of things that I wasn't able to show you or go into grave detail about. I have to clear space on my camera, and I had some audio issues going into post and editing. So, you know, with those things included, I think I'm gonna wrap it up here. If you guys have any questions, or if you guys have any comments about anything, if you guys want to know anything more about the equipment that I showcased in this video, please feel free to comment below. Ask me anything that you want to know. I'll be completely transparent with you. None of this is paid sponsorship or partnership. Everything that I've used in here, everything I am currently using, I use on my own volition and using my own research and using my own choices in order to decide what I want and what I don't want to use in my office space. So again, guys, thank you so much. This has been a pleasure to shoot and film this and share this with you guys. Like I said, you know, I've spent the last decade of my life accruing all of these things and putting all this stuff together, and it definitely feels good to be able to sit in here and sit around all my hard work and just everything that I enjoy as a person. Again, guys, my name is Justin. I go by Kid. My channel is KYD Turismo. You guys are seeing this on my YouTube channel, and if you're new here, please drop a like, subscribe, leave a comment. Again, guys, my name is Justin. I go by Kid, and see you on the flip.